So today what I'm going to do is first need to create these overtimes. Over 6 hours, it should trigger overtime. So that first we need to see whether we have a OT 1.5 pay code. So first let's see that. It's already there, but let me reconfirm that. And let's see how we are creating that. So I need to look for OT pay code, whether they have already created it, or else we can create it. Yeah, we have OT 1.5, which is a standard pay code, and it has a multiplier rate of 1.50. This is what we need. And there's another pay code OT 2.0, which is also created by me only. It is again the standard, only the multiplier is double. Clear on this? This and this. These are the two pay codes which I'm going to use at the rate of 1.5, at the rate of 2.0. And for regular, we already have a pay code. We already yesterday saw that, which will be standard, but the rate will be 1, the multiplier. Yeah. So we have our 3 pay codes. Now, the next item we need to see is as per our requirement for Monday to Friday, first 6 hours is regular, right? So 6 to 8 hours is overtime. So first we need to create a overtime for 6 to 8 hours, right? So for that, what we need to do is first we need to this is an important area. We need to go to overtime. So to create a overtime, when an employee works more than 6 hours, first we need to create a overtime here. We have created a overtime pay code. So to trigger that overtime, we need to create overtimes in this under work rule building blocks. We are going through all these items today. First, we are going through overtimes. I'm going to create a overtime stating over 6 hours or over 6 hours daily. Okay. And this is the name I have given. Name looks convenient, right, to understand. Do you need a change in name, or is this fine?
Yeah. Yeah.
So only item we need to do here is we are going to start the overtime after 6 hours. So we need to specify overtime starts after 6. That's it. Clear? This is the area where we need to be clear. And second item, it should reset every day, because every day after 6 hours it should trigger overtime, right? So this should be normally new day. Overtime should start after 6 hours and it should reset every day. That's it. Clear? This is how we create overtime. Yeah. So we need to make a note of it, what name we have given. So we need to map it somewhere else. So I'll put a note here. This is our overtime. Okay, first one we have created. Similarly, I have already created over 8 hours. So next item we need is 6 to 8 we have created, and we need one more overtime, which is over 8 hours. I have already created over 8 hours. We'll open and show it to you. Yeah. If you see here, I have already created a over 8 hours daily overtime. what it does is same thing. There is no change. I have just changed this from 6 to 8. And the reset is again new day. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Just one change, which is this to 6. This overtime should trigger after 8 hours. First overtime will trigger after 6 hours. This will trigger after 8 hours. That's it. Now I need to copy this. The name here. Sorry, cut here. I'll save it. So we have created both the overtimes. Now what we are going to do is, first let's leave this condition also. Okay. And okay. So now this is ready. 6 to 8 hours, above 8 hours is ready. Now what we need to do is, now let's keep this condition secondary. Once we create a payroll, then we can map this, okay? So let's go with the standard condition that every day first to 6 hours is regular, 6 to 8 is OT, and above 8 is OT 2.0. We'll come to this condition later. Once you have created overtime, then what you need to do is, you need to create up to from majorities to enroll round rules is one hierarchy. Above that one hierarchy, we have combination rule. Above that is pay code distribution. So we have created overtime. Once we create overtimes or zones or other items, we need to map that to combination. So the next item I'm going here is combination rule. So the combination I'm going to choose here is, I'll create a new. Okay. So I'll give some name to this. What is the payroll name we have given? Australia FT, right? The same name I will give for the combination. So Australia FT. Here we need to select our overtypes, whatever we have created. Over 6 hours daily and over 8 hours daily OT. These are the two overtimes which we created. Clear? What I'm doing, I have selected combination rule in the pay policies. Here I have selected the combination rule and clicked on create new, and in that new I have given the name for it. Hereafter we will maintain everything with the name of Australian Nifty. Okay, and for that, and then I have went in this. This will have all the available overtimes and zones, whichever is created within the system. I need to pick our overtimes, what we need. Clear?
Okay, whoever the employee working in Australian FT, that particular employee is the applicable for these two overtime rules, right?
Yeah. So we are selecting that too. Then we will map into the employee later. This is just first creating the configuration.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now once we selected this, you need to click on this configure combination. So this is pretty much straightforward. What we have here is, this is a system asking us over 6 hours daily and over 8 hours daily, 2 overtime you have. But when these two overlap, how the employee should be paid? You're getting my point? When both 6 hours overtime and 8 hours overtime overlap, in what the employee should be paid? Example, if an employee is working for 9 hours, in the first 6 hours will be overtime. Like first 6 hours will be regular. From the 6th to 8th, overtime 1.5, like OT over 6 will be triggered, and the employee will be paid OT 1.5. As soon as he crosses 8 hours, both above 8 and above 6 will be there, right? You're getting my point? Or confused?
Yeah, clear about.
So once the employee crosses 6 hours, this particular overtime will trigger. Once an employee crosses 8 hours, this overtime will trigger. But when an employee crosses 6 hours, even over 6 hours also will be applicable to that, right? Because over 8 is always like comes with the over 6 hours only, right? So if you don't understand, please ask me because this is important.
What I understood is like suppose if an employee works for 8 hours continuously, for 6 hours the system will trigger the regular pay.
Yeah.
From 6 to 8, the 2 hours will pick the 1.5,
Yeah.
and from if he works extra beyond 8 hours, then system picks the whatever the hours will be working, then system picks the two, right?
No, system doesn't automatically fix it. We need to select
Okay.
because these two
Okay.
overtimes, once an employee crosses 8 hours, both these
Hmm.
overtimes will be in the picture.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm asking.
Because we have given a condition that this overtime starts
Hmm.
after 6 hours, this starts after
Hmm.
8 hours. We haven't
Yeah,
given
yeah.
anywhere that this overtime will stop after some time
Mhm, mhm.
because any hours over 6, this overtime will be there. Any
Yes, yes.
hours over 8, this will be there. So when this over say 8 hours getting triggered, automatically this will be also in the picture. So we need to select
Mm.
when both these overtime comes and under what we need to pay. We need to pay him based on this, right? When he crosses 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So when these two comes into picture, we need to choose, okay, I'm going to pay him
yeah.
through over 8 hours.
Okay, okay, okay.
Done.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Second, so then my third item here is count towards overtime. So for both these, first let's see over 6 hours daily. So over 6 hours daily, what are the pay code that needs to contribute? So regular needs to contribute because for only then this will get triggered. First 6 hours regular, after that only we are triggering this overtime, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the hours employee works in regular, the first standard hours should contribute to this overtime. Or else it will be zero, right? If you keep on working regular, if the regular doesn't contribute to this overtime, that we will never meet our 6 hours mark. So we need to choose regular 6. So that means as soon as the employee starts working regular, our counter will start, and once he reaches 6, automatically this overtime will get triggered. Clear?
Yes.
Again, this is actually not triggered because once after 6 hours itself, this will get triggered. So over 8 hours daily overtime doesn't needs to contribute here. Even if it is yes, that's fine, but this will not contribute here because 6 hours before this gets triggered itself, our over 6 hours daily overtime will get triggered. Fine. Let me come to this one. For this overtime, over 8 hours daily overtime. What are the items that needs to contribute? Regular hours needs to be contributed because first 6 hours regular, and again we need this particular item also to contribute because for 6 to 8 hours we are going to pay him through over 6 hours daily overtime. So only then this and this will sum up to 8 hours, and the employee will be getting over 8 hours daily overtime. Confused or any doubts?
Yeah,
Please ask.
clear. Clear.
Yeah. For this over 6 hours overtime, we no need this because it will never get triggered before this. But for over 8 hours to trigger, we need 6 hours of regular and then 2 hours of this. And after that, we need to get this trigger. So we need to choose both of these to contribute to trigger over 8 hours daily overtime. Okay. So that's it from this place. We have selected the overtime. We have configured the combination. We have chosen how to count towards overtime. 3 items done. We are saving and returning the combination rule. Done. Our combination rule is saved here. Once you complete combination rule, then you need to map that combination rule to the above one, that is pay code distribution. Now I'll create a new pay code distribution. Again, the same name I will give, Australian FT. Okay, and here you need to pick our combination rule. We have our combination rule here. I'm just selecting it. Once it's selected, automatically this will get populated. Now here is the area where we will be choosing our pay codes. So as per our requirement, first 6 hours is regular, over 6 hours is OT 1.5, over 8 hours is OT 2.0. Clear? So this you need
Yeah.
to select this and pick the pay code. For default means normal hours, first 6 hours. So for first 6 hours, you need to select that column and click on edit pay codes. And here you need to choose the pay code. I'm going to choose REG. Where is it? Yeah. You need to select here, swipe it here, save and return. So it will be giving you like an Excel like rows and columns. So default, we are going to pay him regular. Over 6 hours is OT 1.5. So you need to select that column, click on edit pay code. OT 1.5 and save and return. Now, again, I'm going to create over this one. 8 hours, which is OT 2.0. I'll pick the OT 2.0 here. So now clear how our system looks like. Normal regular normal hours, we are paying regular. Once he crosses 6 hours, we are going to pay him OT 1.5. Once he crosses 8 hours, we are going to pay him 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Clear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We have given a name, we have picked the combination rule, and we have chosen pay codes for each item. Only we have only these 3 items, right? Regular, over 6 and over 8. That is only we are going to do now, right now. We are going to go with only this condition. So all these 3 items are available in our pay code distribution. We have selected this. We are going to save and that's it. So we have completed till pay code distribution. So work rule building block is done. Fine, no issues. As per our requirement, whatever is needed, we have created that and mapped it. So once you created a pay code distribution, the next item you need to map it to the top one, work rules. Okay. Pay code distribution needs to be mapped to work rule. So work rule, what you need to do is you need to create a new work rule. Click on new. No need to select anything. Other items we will go through later. Only item right now we are concerned about is pay code distribution. We have option here. First, let's give a name of Australian FT for this also. Yeah. And now we are going to the pay code distribution. In the pay code distribution, we need to select our pay code distribution, which is Australian FT which we have created. Once you select that, whatever the overtimes you have created will be coming in this drop down. You can see here. You can see here, right? Over 6 hours and over 8 hours. So only we have created overtimes, nothing else. So whatever the overtimes we have created, we need to pull it to this side, whatever is required. Just pull it to this side. Available overtimes, selected overtimes. You need to put it to selected overtimes. Clear?
Yeah.
Only that is the activity here, and we will save it. That's it. So work rule is done. We have selected our like pay code distribution in work rule and selected our overtimes from the available box. So once that is done, we are going to the last step, that is mapping the work rule to pay rule. It's like bottom to top approach. One by one, we will be mapping, and finally we are coming to pay rule. We need to click on new. We need to give Australian FT again the name, and here also I'm not going to choose anything else. Just I'm going to select default work rule, which is Australian FT. Clear? I'm just selecting that and click on save. That's it. We have created a payroll. Clear what I have done? Sometimes it will, when you save and return, it will ask please enter effective date. Then in that place, you need to click on update this version and click on save and return. So let me recap what we have done again, and we'll start our testing. First, we have created our pay codes in definition. Okay, once our pay codes are ready, we have created 2 overtimes, OT over 6 hours daily and over 8 hours daily overtimes. Then we have mapped those overtimes to combination rule. Combination rule again is mapped to pay code distribution. From pay code distribution to work rule to pay rule. So overtimes to combination rule to pay code distribution to work rule, and work rule to pay rule. Mapping is done. For everything, we have given the name of Australian FT. We have our payroll here. Now, how to test it is, we need to assign this to an employee and then test our configuration. Okay, I'll pick an employee whom I have worked with. Maybe Jane Smith. Yeah, I'll pick this employee. How to assign a payroll is, you need to pick an employee. Usually, this happens directly through integrations. But for our testing purpose, for just for one employee, if it is a bulk upload, it happens through integration. But for one employee, if you want to assign, you just select the employee, click on people, where we saw our personal data, people, and edit. We saw multiple items here, right? From the first session, what is there, what is. So to assign a payroll, you need to go to the job assignment here. And in the job assignment, we have an option called primary account. Where is it? In this primary account will not primary account. It will be available in the next item, which is timekeeper. In job assignment, there is an option timekeeper. In that timekeeper, we will have a special item called payroll. So he's already assigned some other payroll. I'll change it from this month starting. He is into a different payroll, our payroll. I'll select our payroll. Once just you click on it, it will give you a drop down with all the payroll. If you want to search, you can search. If you want to scroll down, you can scroll down. But since we have created in A, we have our payroll at the top, Australian FT. I'm going to select from this month starting is going to be in our payroll. Yeah, first off, number. Clear what I'm doing? Kiran Anima?
Yes, Abhi.
Yes, Abhi, I'm watching it. Yes.
Yeah, just you need to select an employee, click on people and edit, and then you need to come to the job assignment tab, select timekeeper. Timekeeper will have an option of work group, select payroll. Here I'm selecting our payroll, giving the start of this month just to test it out. And I'm clicking on save. That's it. So now this employee is assigned with our payroll. Now we need to test it whether it works correct. Okay, so now let me go to his time card. And after first of this month, whatever the dates available, we can test it there. Okay, let's select the first itself. Let's put punches here. Leave the schedule. Let's put here, maybe Saturday. The employee comes in at 6 a.m. and leaves by, let's say the employee comes in at 8 a.m. and leaves by 2 p.m., which is totally 6 hours. Okay, so totally 6 hours. You can see he's getting all the 6 hours as regular. Clear? An employee is working 6 hours and all the 6 hours is getting paid as regular.
Right.
Yeah. So let's increase few more hours and see if the overtime is getting triggered. I'll just extend him to maybe 2:30, just 30 minutes. And I'll click on save. He's working 6 hours, 30 minutes. Automatically, you can see here, employee for 6 hours is getting regular, and after that, he's getting 30 minutes of
Time and a half.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see the next item. Like let's see. Maybe I'll give a minor margin. Maybe 4 1 1 minute. I'm just checking the boundary values also, so that the overtime 8 hours is getting okay. So we have given only 1 minute more than 8 hours, but you can still see 42.0 is triggered for that
Yeah.
1 minute. First 6 is the regular, next 2 hours is 41.5, and next 1 hour, 1 minute is just for that 1 minute also it is triggering properly. So we need to do that little bit of boundary testing, so that even the minor values, because it's pay related, right? They will come out for every penny if there is a mistake.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we need
They
to,
will sue the shit out of you.
yeah. Then we need to, like, we can reprocess it and give it to them, but it will be a huge escalation. So we need to check the boundary values properly while testing it. So that's the reason first I gave full 6 hours. So up to 6 hours, you should get 6. And above that, you need to get OT 1.5. And once he crosses 2 hours and OT 1.5, which is totally 8 hours, you need to get 2.0. So our payroll is fine. It's working correct. Clear? So we have satisfied this requirement. Now we need to add this one to our existing payroll. So not to confuse you how this works, I went with a simple condition. Now you have an idea, right? What this does.
Yes.
Now we are going to have a more condition stating that now if you see, even for Saturday is getting the same pay. Now we are going to add a condition that if an employee works on Saturday and Sunday, his payment is different. He needs to get some additional benefit. That is, he needs to get first 3 hours as regular, 3 to 6 is 41.5, and above 6 is 42.0. Or let me make it simple for you. Need not to go with this much complex. I'll just make it like above 6 hours, everything is 42.0. Okay. For Saturday and Sunday, first 3 hours is regular. Above 6 hours is going to be 2.0. Clear? Are you okay with this requirement? Any doubts on this?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So now what we need to do is we already have 42.0. Okay. We already have above 6 hours overtime also. We already created this for this purpose, right? Only thing we need to do, oh, sorry, above 3 hours, right? Sir? Above 3 hours should be 42.0. First 3 hours is regular, above 3 hours is 42.0. So first we need to see whether we have an existing overtime. I think I have already created an overtime over 3 hours daily also, but let me see if that is available. So first we need to create the overtime over 3 hours of time. Let me see if I have it. I'll just search it out. Something is available in 3. Okay, there is a overtime called over 3 hours a day. We'll just duplicate it and we'll create a new one for us. We will give a name of over 3 hours weekend. Okay, and here similarly we need to specify it's about 3 only, and it's a new day. It treats as a new day. So this everything is okay. Just see the overtime how I have created. Just I have given a name and I've given a start time of about 3 hours, and reset is a new day. That's it. Okay, I'm going to save and now what I need to do is we have created a overtime, but we need to specify, right, only for Saturday and Sunday we need to have a special overtime. So for that there is an option called zones where we can pick our days to pay differently. Above overtime we have zones. This is the one which I am going to choose to create a different payment for Saturday and Sunday. I'll click on new. I'll give a name like Australia weekend zone. In this, now you need to pick what are the days are going to be in this zone. Clear?
Yeah.
So here you don't need to change anything. Just you need to pick Saturday and Sunday. There, like in the zone type, there are multiple types available. What we have chosen here is days of the week. There are also options called daily shift differential and weekend differential. That means daily shift differential is to provide different pay for different shift employees. So for night shift employees, we might give them some additional pay. So for that daily shift differential, no need to look into these items. This is the only item we need to concern about. What time daily that particular zone starts? Maybe we can give 10 p.m. and it ends at 4 a.m. So night shift employees will come into that zone. Clear?
Yeah.
We can choose that particular timing. Daily shift differential means in the daily date, we can choose a particular timing and provide them a special pay if they work on that time. So this is specifically for night shift employees, so that they get some additional pay. And we have also we can also achieve our requirement, which is weekend, using weekend differential also. In weekend differential, we can choose our weekend when our weekend starts. Our weekend starts on Saturday 12 a.m. and ends at Sunday 12 a.m. Means Monday 12 a.m. Right? These 2 days we are going to give him a special pay. We can go by this way also. But I'm taking you through the simple way, which will be quite understandable for you, and we can achieve that days of week also. So I will just pick our days here. We will give a name to it. That's it. Clear on this? Our zone type is days of the week, and we have picked our days. Clear?
Yeah.
I'm giving Saturday and Sunday here. I have given the name of Australia weekend zone. I'm going to save and return. So once you have created zone, now we have created one new overtime and one new zone. Now we need to map those two items to our combination. Our combination rule is Australian FT. So now we need to add one of the zone which we have created. One is Australian weekend zone to this side. And the next item is, what is the name which we gave for the overtime? It's over 3 hours Saturday, right? Yeah, over 3 hours weekend. Here is all. So we have created two. Now our combinations will change. So we need to create a new combination. So I'll click on our combination. Already we have one item, which is over 6 and over 8. We have selected over 8. Now we have few other items available here. Now we need to see how the employees going to get paid. Now it's asking us if over 3 hours weekend and over 8 hours daily overtime is coming, how an employee should be paid. So for weekend, we are going to pay over 3 hours itself. We are going to pay him OT 2.0. But again, over 8 hours is also 2.0 for daily, right? But in this case, we can pick anyone. Just for the uniformity, I'm going to choose over 3 hours weekend itself because that gets the priority here. Because it's triggering from 3 hours itself. So let's use this overtime for the whole day of Saturday and Sunday. Again, then there is another question. Over 3 hours and over 6 hours, if both comes together, how the employee should be paid? In this case, you should definitely choose over 3 hours weekend because for over 3 hours weekend, once the employee crosses 3 hours in the weekend or some day, we are going to give him 2.0 hours. But over 6 hours, will pay him only 1.5. So, which gets the highest pay, we need to choose that. Okay. And then we have our weekend zones like Australian weekend zones, and this can be kept like this itself. This is with respect to whatever we have zones, we can pick anything. Like if a weekend zone and over 3 hours comes, it can be paid as anything. So for our uniformity, let's choose our over 3 hours weekend itself. And these two, 6 hours daily and 8 hours daily overtime, this is not required on our weekends. If it's over 6 hours and over 8 hours daily OT is not needed for our weekend time. So in these cases, we can choose the weekend zone. So just go through the combination what I have chosen. Please let me know if you have any confusion or doubt.
Sure, we will work out with the different combinations. If you found any difficulties, then definitely we'll.
Here, this one you are clear, right? When 6 hours and 8 hours comes, we need to pick 8 hours. Similarly,
Yeah,
when, when 3 hours and 8 hours come, we are going to give priority to the weekend, because weekend is where we are providing them a special pay. And if you see over 3 hours weekend and over 8 hours daily overtime, both are going to give him same amount, which is 2.0. But we need it from the third hour itself, and both are same amount. So I will go with the 3 hours weekend. But in this area, this is an overtime and this is an overtime. But this over 6 hours overtime pays them in 1.5. But over 3 hours pays them in 2.0. So, and it gets triggered in the third hour itself. So, when these two overlaps, these two will overlap only during, what to say, only during our weekend time. So, in that time, we need to pay him completely on over 3 hours weekend. And then now you need to choose when the weekend zone and this comes, we need to pay him through weekend zone itself. Weekend, we are going to pay him special. So whenever there is a weekend zone, we need to pick that, because weekend zone is we are going to give him a different pay on that day. Clear?
Yeah.
Now let me save and return. Combination rule is done. Now I'm going to map the combination rule to pay code distributions. Now you can see we have a default item for, sorry, we need to first make some changes to the combination rule. Last item which I picked was wrong. Here, this alone needs to be over 3 hours weekend. Because or else the whole weekend zone will be paid in the same way. There is an option called unique. What it will do is, if you choose unique, you need to directly configure it in paycode distribution. So we will leave these to us like this. I'll give unique so that it's not confusing. So we can directly choose it in the paycode distribution. So we no need to create any confusion here. These three items, we know what to pick. This item also, we know when weekend zone and 3 hours comes, you need to give preference to 3 hours. But these two items, I'm a little confused, so I'll just give it as unique, so that we can directly go to pay code distribution and pick the codes directly from there itself. Now, if you go to the pay code distributions, if you open ours, the normal one is already here, but only for these items, it's open now. So now, first, what we need to do is, there is something again wrong with our combination rule little bit. Here also the tick mark should come, but it's not coming. But let's leave it like that. First, we'll select. Normally on weekdays, if over 3 hours weekend comes, he needs to be paid in regular only, right? Only after 6 hours we are going to pay him OT. So for the normal days, we are going to give him regular. It will come in the next row also, but we'll change the combination later. Okay. This will, by default, it's grayed out. We are not able to select. Whatever we select here, we'll populate here. We'll work on that later. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select the default one. For first 3 hours, again, we are going to give him in weekend also, we are going to give him this one, what like regular hours. So I'm going to choose that. If you create some mistake in combination rule, it will be evident in this itself. Here itself we'll get an understanding. Now you can see our configuration pay code distribution is not looking correct because by default first 3 hours is regular, fine. But over 3 hours we need to have an option to pick OT 2.0, right? Which is not available right now. Clear? That means it is saying our combination rule is wrong. Here, because if anything after this, we are going to pay him OT 2.0, OT 2.0, and OT 2.0. We are able to pick up these two OT2 as OT 2.0, but this is not visible at all. So that means somewhere we have missed out in our combination rule. So what I will do is, if we are confused, for this item also, I will just choose when over 3 hours weekend and Australia weekend zone comes, I'll choose regular. Means I will choose unique. If I choose unique means this option will be enabled. We can pick directly from here. I'll go to the combination rule. I'll show you what I'm telling you. It will be a little confusing, but once we go through another 1 or 2 payrolls, you'll get to know what I'm doing changing. So pay code distribution is just a combination like what we have configured here that will come as rows and columns. So if you go to this combination, what now I need to choose is, this is the area which is getting grayed out. So what I'm going to do is I'll just give unique so that I can pick it from there itself. Now the second column will be enabled. I'm confused what should get the priority. So directly I'll go there and choose the pay code. I'll just click on and also one more item which we missed out is count towards overtime. We have created one more overtime which is over 3 hours weekend. For this, what are the pay codes that needs to contribute? Australian weekend zone needs to contribute. We need to select these as no here for these two, because this is daily overtime. For that, weekend zone is not needed. Clear? This particular area count towards overtime. If you have any doubt, please let me know. For these two are for Monday to Friday. For that, weekend zone should not contribute. So I have just removed it. Clear on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because these two should not come for weekend zone. So I have removed it. But for 3 hours, weekend zone should contribute. But 6 hours and 8 hours daily is not needed, because after 3 hours itself, we are going to start the hour overtime. Right? If you choose yes also, it will not create an impact, because it's going to trigger before these two. Okay. So it can be yes or no, your choice. Okay. So only thing is you need to remove the weekend zone from our daily overtime, so that daily overtime is not following that. Clear? So that's it. I'll now save and return. Now I'll go to our pay code distribution. Now all the columns would be enabled because I have chosen unique in the combination rule. If I go now both these all the columns are enabled. So now we are free to select our pay codes. Now it looks easy, right? So by default, it's regular. If it is crossing over 3 hours, I'm going to choose pay code. And we can do it for multiple items also. So now see, for Saturday and Sunday, over 3 hours is also 2.0, over 6 hours is also 2.0, over 8 hours is also 2.0, right? Clear on that?
Yeah.
So we can directly, if we are going to select the same pay code for 3 items, we can directly select all the 3 items and then we can click on edit pay codes. Now we can go here and select our OT 2.0, place it out here, save and return. Done. So just go through the pay code distribution. Now does that make sense? Normal days, regular. Over 3 hours also is regular and normal days. Over 6 hours will give 1.5 and over 8 hours will give 2.0. But on weekend, which is Saturday and Sunday, they are going to get regular hours for first 3 and over 3 is 2.0. For whatever the hours, rest of the hours, it's 2.0. Clear? We have created the pay code distribution. Now we are not going to make any changes to the work rule. Only thing we are going to do is in work.
Abhi, one question.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
So, like for the weekend, right?
Yeah.
The one condition is like, the over 3 hours, the overtime is 2.0 over 3 hours. So let's say if we test this for like 2 hours, 59 minutes, then it would be regular pay, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
it's only 3 hours and above, everything will hit 2.0.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now let me save and return on this. And now we have completed payload distribution. Now I'm going to the work rule. Work rule, we are not going to make any changes. Only thing I'm going to do is we have created few new overtimes, right? New overtimes
Yeah.
and zones, which will be available in this under payload distribution, which will be available to select. We need to pick that to our boxes. So already we have these two previously selected. Now we have one more overtime in available. I'm just pulling it here. Now again, if you go here, zones also we have created one. I need to just pull it here. I'm not going to make any configuration changes here. Just I'm dragging and dropping what are the things which is available, and I'll click on before saving. You need to select update this version, save and click done. Now our payroll, we are not going to make any change. So this is done. Now we can again test our employee. Now, currently, if you see, as per our previous configuration, even in the Saturday, employee is getting 6 hours of regular, then 2 hours of OT 1.5, then after 8 hours is getting OT 2.0. Now we have made changes to Saturday profile. Let's refresh and see. I'll just close it out and open. You can see here, as soon as we have changed the configuration, now only first 3 hours is getting paid as regular. Everything else is OT 2.0. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have come to an understanding. It's actually like I'm pretty much surprised that we have completed a simple payroll in one day itself, and we have added condition to it. So the next item I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a particular requirement. Okay, you can maybe take a screenshot of it if needed.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you you need to create a simple payroll before you come tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we will
Okay.
explore the other components, whatever we haven't touched, and we'll add
Sure.
it to the same payroll which we have created today. Okay. So
Sure.
we have added few more conditions with overtimes and zones. Now we will explore other items. Other workflow building blocks, we have multiple items, right? So we will explore the other items, whichever is if you see here.